This morning, I decided to go on the computer because my PC just arrived and record a Try Not to Laugh video. And unfortunately, there was nothing decent to record. I'd looked up Try Not to Laugh or r/funny and stuff like that. And it just turned, the content was dog shit. But then after a while, I struck a gold mine. Not for the purpose of Try Not to Laugh videos, but more so cringing content. Yeah, this channel called True Story Animations don't seem to be posting true stories. They have hundreds of videos, but one seemed to scream out to me the most, and that is, I got my stepmom pregnant. So my initial reaction was, what the fuck? And then while watching the video, I began to my brain went, what the fuck, even further.
My dad's a total jerk, and not even good looking. So how come he was able to marry Lexi, a stunning model who's been on the cover of Vogue and dated several famous football players? Well, we live in South America, and my dad made lots of money taking backhanders. Yeah, he was a corrupt politician who was giving government contracts to whoever paid the biggest bribe. That's why we lived in an enormous mansion, even though his government salary was less than $50,000 per year.
You know, when your dad exploits funds from the government, you know, the first thing that you would do is post it as a YouTube video on a cartoon saying it's a true story, because it is a true story. I'm fully invested in this already. This is so authentic.
How do I know all this? Well, my dad told me.
How do you know all this, buddy?
He even tried to recruit me. He said I'd make lots of money, but I refused and told him that millions of people were living in poverty because of corrupt politicians like him.
How kind of you to say that.
I didn't care, though.
This
and
is
the real
fucking
victim
weird.
was Lexi, anyway. After she
Why?
got married to my dad, he treated her horribly. He'd make her dress in revealing maid costumes and ordered her to cook for him or clean the living room while he watched.
Huh? Dude, what the fuck? Is that slavery? What is that? I'm sure that's not allowed. No, that's weird.
He seemed to get a kick out of having power over her. Okay, maybe you think Lexi deserved it. I mean, she only married Dad for his money, but she always seemed so sad.
Well, if you married someone for their money, and you're getting the money, you know what? Never mind.
I asked what was wrong, and she told me
What's
my
wrong,
dad had
Lexi?
screamed at her for hours and said he'd kick her out if she annoyed him again.
What did she
I
do?
said I was sorry for how my dad was treating her, but suddenly she pushed me back, strapped me, and started
what?
kissing me all over.
No, this is not okay. This is not okay, bruh.
I should have walked away, but
Yeah, you
I was
should have,
only
bro.
18. Having a gorgeous model
Only
come onto me
18?
was the best thing that had ever happened to me.
She's your stepmom. What? No. What kind of human do you have to be to react like this?
As we were making out, I heard my dad walking towards the room. Lexi
Great.
laughed and told me I had lipstick all over my face.
Tee-hee-hee. You got lipstick on your face. Tee-hee-hee. I keeps my stepson. Tee-hee-hee. Ah, this is awful.
Dad came in and sat next to Lexi, saying, "I've got a business trip this weekend. There'll be plenty of security guards around to keep an eye on you, and they'll notify me if you try to go anywhere. I recommend you don't make another mistake. Now give me a kiss." Ugh, I wanted to throw up. Was my dad kissing the same woman I'd made out with 2 minutes ago?
The same woman is your stepmom, you fucking freak.
Gross!
Yeah, that's gross. That's gross. Oh my god.
Lexi and I started kissing again.
Oh.
It was such a
Did you now?
rush because I knew it was wrong.
No shit. Fuck.
And I never even held a girl's hand before.
And your kid. Wow, this is 100% true thing. I'm not a lying.
You'd have done the same if you were me.
I can guarantee that no one with a decent mind would be doing the same thing as you. I guess if I'm going to humor the weirdness and indecency here, maybe if your father had only married the woman for like 2 months or something, or not very long time at all, but still, this is still very weird.
Of course, if my dad found out, he would kill us. But I couldn't keep my hands off Lexi. Our affair went on for months. Whenever Dad went out, Lexi and I hooked up. Even though she was older than me, we fell in love. I gave her the kindness and affection my dad wouldn't. But then, Lexi fell pregnant. There was no doubt I was the
Oh,
father
no.
because it happened during one of my
No.
dad's business trips. Of course, we didn't tell my dad.
No, this is becoming far more vomit-inducing than I can handle. No.
My daughter, Haley, was born. My dad became even more of an ass. He told Lexi she was fat and threatened to give Haley away if she continued screaming.
Did I miss something in the timeline here? Does he still think that the baby is his?
Lexi and I thought about running away, but we didn't have the money. And my dad would have found us anyway.
Doesn't your dad gives you shit? Use that. Exploit that. This entire story is stupid. I don't know why I'm picking this apart.
The only way we'd be free was if my dad died or went to jail.
Well, considering he's doing bad things, not for the government, you could probably get him to go to jail, and your abomination of a child and your stepmother wife thing
should be happily ever after.
So, I came up with a plan. Over the next few weeks, I went with him on business meetings with various companies. It was shocking how open they were about bribing my dad and how much money they were going to make. They wouldn't have been so open if they'd known that I'd planted hidden microphones in Dad's office.
No, they wouldn't have.
I was recording every word they said. After a few months, I had enough evidence to send my dad to prison for the rest of his life. But I had an even better idea. I decided to blackmail him. That was the hardest conversation of my life. I'll never forget my dad's face when I told him, "Haley, she's not yours. I got Lexi pregnant while you were away on a business trip." My dad laughed. That's the best joke I've heard in a while.
That's not even funny.
Lexi and I are leaving today and taking her with us. We won't let our daughter grow up around a monster. That's when Dad realized I was telling the truth. He shoved me up against the wall and snarled, "You think you can sleep with my wife and I'll just let you go?" I pushed him back and said, "You treat your wife and my daughter like servants, and we're not putting up with it. I've got hours of recordings which prove you've been taking bribes. If something should happen to me or my family, one of my friends will send them to every single journalist in this country." An hour later, Lexi, Haley, and I left my dad's house. We took his favorite car and $50,000 and moved into a hotel. I thought we had plenty of money, but we didn't. She told me she couldn't survive like this, and
Oh,
said she'd
no.
find someone else if I couldn't give her everything she wanted. But how was I supposed to do that? I didn't.
You fucking moron, she played you. Oh god, that's funny. That's a funny thing.
I was barely out of high school. So, I went back to my dad and demanded $5 million.
Hang on. You were just out of high school. You said you were 18 when you first started this ridiculous story. Then the baby looks like she'd be what? That's not the same kid. That has to be a 5-year-old at least. 3-year-old. That's a 3-year-old. You'd be 21. So you've been out of high school for years. What do you mean you just got out of your stupid logic is irritating me.
Maybe I wasn't any better than him, but I didn't care. I couldn't lose Lexi.
Why would you want to stay with someone that's blatantly said you will not stay with them if they don't get any more money? I understand this is a fucking fantasy, but whose fantasy is this? Who's making these stories? Who would do this? Who creates such shit? This is shit.
I'll give it to you tomorrow at noon, but you'll have to promise me you'll never ask for money again. I said, "Deal. I promise." Wow, it had actually worked. Dad gave me the money, and I could buy everything Lexi wanted again. We moved to a better hotel, and we were happy for a while. But over the next few months, I began to see why Lexi had married my dad. She was incredibly shallow and only cared about money.
You deserve everything bad that comes your way. What a fucking moron. Why am I critiquing this like it's an actual story and these are real people? Why am I actually putting the effort in?
And when I woke up, the safe where we kept our money was gone, and so was Lexi. I was left with Haley, but no money to take care of her. I had no choice but to go back to my dad to get more money. But when I went to see him, he said, "You promised not to ask for more money." I said, "I don't care. Lexi stole everything from me. Just give me $1 million. That'll be enough for me." this really is the last time I'll ask you for anything. He warned, this will have consequences. I didn't know what he meant, and I didn't care. He gave me the money, and I drove back to the hotel Haley and I lived in.
Stop living in a hotel if you're worried on spending too much money, you fucking degenerate scumbag.
So, my son, the tables have turned. I won't play your games anymore. Your daughter and Lexi will live far away from you. They'll be safe as long as you don't publish any of the recordings. I begged and
What
pleaded.
the fuck?
Don't take my daughter!
Wait, did Lexi go back to the granddad after all that? Really? Are you kidding me?
I want to live with her. I'll give you back the $1 million if you'll just let me be with her. But my dad said, you're lucky she's still alive.
Wait, huh? You're just threatening death out the window right there. That's ballsy.
But one day, my dad was assassinated.
Hope this video blew your socks off. If you like this and you want to see more, let me know also. Take care, guys.